Your Vote 2012, and the hits keep on coming.
I don't think he knows what he's talking about.
It's not the first time that Mitt's been wrong on some issues before.
The third Republican debate and one Republican's comment that is all the talk today. A wayward satellite falling to Earth, we know where it probably won't land, whether or not we're in the clear. A new study says soup may not be good food after all. What cancer-creating chemical could be inside some cans? They shuffled their way to Super Bowl victory, but they were denied a really important visit. That's about to change for the 1985 Bears. Your independent news starts right now. Good evening, I'm Amanda Decker. Welcome to INN News. A partial government shutdown is looming. Today, the Senate shot down temporary spending plans passed by the House last night. The current fiscal year ends next Friday. The bill would keep Washington running through November 18th. It does include critical new disaster funding assistance for states hard hit by a series of recent natural disasters, but Republicans want less disaster aid than Democrats. And now to Your Vote 2012, looking back on last night's Republican debate and battleground state Florida, the economy, the top issue, but many topics provoked a clash between the two frontrunners, Rick Perry and Mitt Romney.
I don't think he knows what he's talking about.
It's not the first time that Mitt's been wrong on some issues before.
Governor Perry, you wrote a book 6 months ago. You're already retreating from the positions that were in that book.
Not an inch, sir.
And there were a few moments of comic relief as one long-shot candidate, Gary Johnson, talked about shovel-ready jobs.
My next-door neighbor's 2 dogs have created more shovel-ready jobs than this current administration.
Tomorrow, the state of Florida will hold its Republican straw poll. Well, it is technically like an 18-wheeler, one with no one behind the wheel. A NASA satellite that is falling to Earth right now, expected to crash sometime this evening. Experts say it doesn't appear as if it will land anywhere near North America. It is expected to break up into about 26 chunks, ranging from 10 pounds to 300 pounds in a debris field as wide as 500 miles. But the chances of anyone getting hit is 1 in 3,200. So compare that to getting in a car crash, which is 1 in 16. Well, another death row inmate has been executed, this time in the state of Alabama. Derek Mason died by lethal injection last night. He was convicted of killing a convenience store clerk in Huntsville, Alabama during a robbery in March of 1994. He made a last-minute appeal to the Alabama Supreme Court, but that appeal was denied. On Wednesday, Troy Davis was put to death in Jackson, Georgia for killing a police officer in 1989. Well, death row inmates headed to their executions will no longer be able to pick their last meals in the state of Texas. The idea is coming from Senate Criminal Committee Chairman John Whitmire, and the head of the Department of Criminal Justice is complying. From now on, they will simply be served the same meal as the other prisoners. Well, a major employer in North Texas announces changes in its hiring practices. Starting January 1st, certain applicants will not be considered for employment at Baylor Healthcare System.
We know tobacco leads to many diseases and illnesses. We've got to practice what we preach. We want to be one of those leading healthcare providers and got to be role models for our patients.
The policy change will also affect current employees who smoke. They'll have to pay an extra $650 per year in insurance surcharges. Well, the death toll has risen to 8 in an outbreak of listeria traced to Colorado-grown cantaloupes. The CDC says a person in Maryland died from eating the produce. 55 people in 14 states have now been confirmed as sick from eating this food. 4 of those sick are from the state of Nebraska. Shelley Russell from our affiliate KPTM talks with someone who got sick from that very fruit.
Gloria, hi.
Oh yes, I thank God every night that I'm here, so especially at my age, I thought my life might be over.
85-year-old Gloria Erickson is grateful.
I'm very fortunate. I thank my doctor. He pulled me through, and he knew just what to do.
Say ah.
Dr. Rudy Kutula knew how to help Erickson battle listeria.
It's very rare. We see maybe a couple of cases in the whole United States per year.
This year, quite a bit different. The CDC says contaminated cantaloupes are to blame for 55 sick people in 14 states.
I had no idea it would be cantaloupe. The taste is so good, and I can chop that up in pieces, put it in the icebox, and just go taste when I want to.
Now Erickson and her doctor are just glad she's on the mend.
I certainly hope that she's infection-free forever.
And in case you're wondering, Erickson says she'll be steering clear from these cantaloupes for a while.
Well, it might be a while before I ever buy one. Not this year.
Shelley Russell reporting for INN News.
So those cans of soup your kids love may contain a potentially dangerous chemical. Researchers tested 6 brands of popular canned food marketed directly toward children. They found the chemical BPA in all 6. Some studies have linked exposure to that chemical to breast cancer and prostate cancer. Campbell's was one of the brands that tested positive for BPA, but it says the levels of the chemical in its foods were deemed safe by federal regulators. Time for global news now. Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez is back home after heading to Cuba for cancer treatment. Here you can see file video of the leader speaking at the United Nations back in 2009. He returned to Caracas last night after a 4th round of chemotherapy treatment in Havana. Chavez says this is the last round of chemo he'll have to get, at least for now. It's unclear what type of cancer he still has. Pope Benedict XVI begins his 2nd day of a 4-day state visit to Germany, where he met with representatives of the Muslim community today. The Pope says his purpose in Germany isn't political. The Pontiff says he just wants to meet people and speak about God. A time capsule dating back to the late 1800s is finally opened. The capsule was set into the cornerstone of a Newfoundland building in 1893. The building burned down in 1999, but the owner waited until now to reveal the content. Check it out. In the lead box was a Bible, coins, papers, and other small items reflecting life in the late 19th century. The owner says he plans to have the coins evaluated by an expert and donate the papers to a museum. And that's your global news now. A Missouri dollar store was left with a lot of damage after a driver went right in through the front of the building. It happened yesterday afternoon in Troy, that's near St. Louis. Police say a 68-year-old woman was trying to park in front of the store when she accidentally hit the gas instead of the brake. The woman was taken to a hospital as a precaution. No one inside the store was injured. What many may call a butt dial turns out to be a blessing for a Wisconsin woman. 20-year-old Angela Pfister says she and her boyfriend had been drinking. He got aggressive, accused her of cheating, and then attacked her.
Wrestled me to the floor and covered my mouth and said I was going to die.
As the attack continued, she says someone rushed through the door. It was her father. He heard all the commotion on the other end of a call pocket dialed by the boyfriend's cell phone. Angela is okay. The boyfriend is now in jail. 40,000 new jobs. Find out who's hiring this many for the holidays, plus a high GPA or a hefty bank account. What really gets students into the colleges of their choice. And who has time to make their kids eat breakfast anymore? Well, some healthy breakfast options for parents on the go. And this guy won't be serving anyone's morning coffee anytime soon, but he's okay with that. From barista to internet sensation.
Can I make a drink for you, miss? I know you've had a day. Well, so have I. I really don't want to care, but I get paid to try. Hello, rich white lady. I already know what you want. You want a skinny vanilla latte, young debutante. Well, that drink won't make you skinny.